3 people were stranded at sea for 3 days because of a plane crash just when they were in despair. The old man suddenly woke up his companions excitedly and pointed to the distance. Paul turned around and realized that there was a deserted island not far away, which gave them all hope of surviving. The two of them used all their strength to slide towards the deserted island. When they managed to reach the island, Carter was shocked to find a shipwrecked ship not far away, but at this point they could not care less. After resting, the 3 of them planned to go to look for water and food, but before they got far they heard a terrible roar and they had to be more cautious. They had a hard time getting out of the jungle when Carter saw something and pointed to it. The companions followed the direction of his finger and saw a large area of fresh water in front of them. The 2 men were so excited by the sight that they had forgotten the terrible roar. But the old man still stopped and looked around vigilantly. Suddenly he saw a mark on a rock not far away. He was about to warn his companions, turned his head only to hear a scream came. The old man realized that it was not good to run towards the sound of the screams in a hurry. At this time Paul heard that terrible hissing sound again sounded before he knew the direction of the sound behind the old man's screams, and when he turned his head and found that the old man was just next to him also disappeared. This strange scene makes him cannot help but start to get nervous when he called his companions. He also accidentally fell into the trap. Carter woke up to see the animal bones on the ground, panic, but in Paul's comfort he also slowly calmed down. Both men looked up at the tens of meters high pit and fell into despair. Soon Paul realized that the old man who fell with him was not in the pit, but Carter saw that the old man's compass was on the ground. But when he opened it, he found that the compass was spinning rapidly. Suddenly the terrible roar resumed, and this time it was as close to them as if it were above the pit. Carter said it wasn't a common animal sound and said he'd never heard it before. Paul knew he had to get out of here now. He looked at the plant roots on the wall and knew that this would not help them get out of the hole. After all, the roots were still more than 10 meters away from the top. Carter speculated that this might be a pit left behind by previous generations to catch the monsters, but Paul didn't care about that. All he could think about was how to get out of here. Carter then saw another hole on the side and the two realized that this might be their way out. But when Paul climbed in he saw the old man's body. It turned out to be the same hole that the old man had fallen into. But the old man had been unlucky enough to die in the fall. Without a way out, Carter was in despair. But Paul kept his wits about him and was convinced he could get out. He went to the corner and picked up a notebook which Carter told him was a logbook in Spanish, and Paul asked him to translate it for him so that he could find some useful information. Then he found a revolver on the captain's body with 2 rounds left in it, which looked like it was meant for both of them. Carter found some useful information in the logbook, from which he learned that they came to this deserted island in search of an unknown creature whose urine is said to have the ability to bring back the dead. They didn't get any other information until the last page of the log. The 2 then found a secret door on the wall of the pit, which opened automatically, and they cautiously walked in.